Hello, lovely people! As you probably already know, the Oculus Quest launch date is right around the corner. And if you're like us and want to share that experience, then you also probably want to know what your options are for recording and live streaming with the Quest. So in today's video, we share a guide on how we do it most of our live streams and recordings. More specifically, we are using OBS and ADB wirelessly, and in this guide, I'll explain how to do this step by step. At the end of this video, we will share some extra tips and tricks that you can use. This is coming up. Subscribe if you haven't yet to see more VR guides like this one. Let me start by saying that you do not need to use OBS to record footage. You can also use the Oculus Quest native recording feature that you can find in the menu under sharing. If you press record here, it will start recording internally and it will show a red dot at the top right of the screen. After you are done, you can grab the video file by connecting your Quest to the PC and going in the video shots folder, which is in this PC, Quest, internal shared storage, Oculus, and then video shots. This is the easiest method to record gameplay. However, there are some disadvantages by using this method. One is that the audio is out of sync most of the time and you will need to resync the audio, which isn't very hard to do, but still. This method also does not record some features like pass-through. When you enter pass-through, it's just not recorded as you can see here. And no voice audio is recorded either. This means that you need to find another method to do your voiceovers and sync it later on. Plus, I have found that sometimes the video file is bugged and it does not work. I'm not sure when this happens, but it's not always a risk we are willing to take as a content creator. So I hope this gets solved later on. So another solution would be to record gameplay while using OBS or any recording tool you are using. An advantage of this is that you can use OBS to record your microphone and your webcam at the same time, so you don't have to sync those later. The disadvantage is that you can't record game audio unless you use a 3.5mm audio cable, but I'll show you how to do this. Lastly, it takes a bit of time to get this set up, but once it is set up, it isn't very hard anymore to get it running. Again, the easiest method to capture gameplay will be just to use the Oculus native record feature, but if you need to live stream or want to record voiceovers and a webcam without having to sync it afterwards, then this guide is for you. So let's get started with this guide. Step 1. Activate an Oculus developer account. The first thing you have to do is activating developer mode on your Oculus Quest. For this to work, you need to register the account that you use for the Quest as a developer account. You might have already done this if you tried sideloading before on the Oculus Go. If so, you can skip this step. If you haven't done this yet, this can be done by going to dashboard.oculus.com while logged in. If you haven't logged in yet, it will ask you to log in, create a new organization, agree to the terms, and after this, you can move to the next step. Step 2. Put your Oculus Quest in developer mode. Now, you have to activate developer mode on your Oculus Quest. This can be done in the mobile phone Oculus app. Start the Oculus app, go to Settings, then click on your Oculus Quest. If it's not connected yet, it will start connecting. Then click on the arrow and More Settings. Go to developer mode and toggle this on. I already had it on here. If it did not toggle on, make sure you are using the same account that you registered as a developer account. Step 3. Download scrcpy. Next, you are going to need a tool that allows you to mirror your Oculus Quest screen on your PC. I use scrcpy, which is an acronym for scrcpy, so I'm going to call it that from now on because that is just much easier. Now, go to this link. I also linked it in our description. And now I can only show you what you need to do on Windows, since I don't have a Mac or Linux. Download the correct version for your Windows. I have a 64-bit Windows, so I'm downloading the second one. Step 4. Unzip the file and place the folder anywhere you want. So click on your Downloads folder and unzip it. I use 7-zip for this. And there you have it. I'm going to put it in here. I find it easier to rename this to just scrcpy. As you can see, in this folder ADB is also included, and this is short for Android Debug Bridge, and it is a command line tool that lets you communicate with Android devices like the Oculus Quest. And using ADB and scrcpy that is also in the folder, we can execute commands in the command prompt to get the screen mirroring done. Step 5. Add ADB and scrcpy in this folder to your environment variables. Before we execute the commands, we want to add ADB and scrcpy to our environment variables. This to make it possible for you to execute the commands in a command prompt without the need of filling out the whole path. You can skip this step, but I recommend doing it. So click on Start, type in environment variables, then click on environment variables again, scroll down to your path, open it by double clicking it, and add the screen copy folder in a new line. Just copy paste the folder path here, go back and add it in there. Last thing you have to do here is add the following. In here, make a new one, add the variable name screen copy server path. Oops. And in this value field, you need to fill in the path to a file in the screen copy folder, which is this file. You can copy this name, paste it at the end here, and copy this. Go back to your environment variables and copy it in here. Press OK, and it is added to your system variables. Step 6. Now check if you set the environment variables right. Open the command prompt by going to Start, type in cmd. If you already have a command prompt open, please exit it and restart the program, or else it might not work. You should be able to execute these commands. Now type ADB here, and if you see this, this means it works. And now if you type screen copy here, this means it works as well. Ignore that for now. If you can't execute these commands and it says command not recognized, like this for example, then you did not set it right, and you should check if the path in your environment variable is correct. So time for some good news. If you've done all this correctly, you don't have to do this again anymore. From now on, you can start recording from step 7. Step 7. Connect the Quest to your PC with ADB. We are almost done here, so now you can connect your Oculus Quest to the PC using the provided cable, and your Oculus Quest will ask for permission to allow for USB debugging. Make sure you put on the headset and press allow using the controller. You can even save your PC so you don't have to do this again. Then open the command prompt again and type in ADB devices. It should open a server, as you can see here. And if you give your PC permission on your Quest, you will see its device and its serial number here. If you don't see this, then please try a different USB-C cable. This worked perfectly fine on my PC USB-C port, but for some reason it does not work on my laptop, and I had to use a USB-C to USB-A converter to get it to work. If for some reason it does not work, you can restart the server by typing ADB kill server, and then ADB devices again to restart it. This solves most problems. Step 8. Mirror the screen. Now with the cable connected to the Quest, you can now mirror the screen by executing screen copy. Just make sure you activate the Quest by putting something in front of the sensor of the Quest. Sometimes I find it easier to put a little bit of tape in front of it so it doesn't turn off. While you are watching this video, please leave a like if you found this video helpful so far. Step 9. Now you can record this screen using OBS, using something like window capture for example. And then I usually like to enlarge and crop the screen until I get it about half of my recording screen size. However, there's also an option to do this cropping immediately with screen copy, which I'll show at the end of this video. We are not finished yet because ADB also gives you the possibility to mirror the screen wirelessly. So next, I have a bonus step that you can use to mirror the screen wirelessly, and if you stick around to the end, I'll also let you know what we use to record our voiceovers and game audio. I'll also show you some last tips and tricks. Step 10. How to record the Quest through OBS wirelessly. ADB allows you to connect the Quest wirelessly through Wi-Fi, which is great. Just make sure that your Quest is connected to the same network as your PC and that it has a strong Wi-Fi connection. I would recommend a 5 GHz connection. Now there are a couple of commands to execute to get this done. However, that is just complicated, so you can download a bat file that I linked in the description, and I have it right here. And if I click on edit it with Notepad, you can see the commands it will fire, and instead of typing these commands manually, this file will automatically execute these commands for you. A quick shout out goes to Marcus for providing us with this bat file. Thanks. Let's continue. Once you've downloaded this bat file, all you need to do is this. Connect your Oculus Quest with a cable, go to command prompt, and then type in ADB devices again. If you see your device listed here, then you can continue. Double click the bat file and it will execute a couple of commands, and it will also let you know what to do. Right now it says please connect the Quest. We've already done that, so I'm continuing. You can ignore this for now. And now it says please disconnect the USB cable. I'm going to do that now. And then you can press continue. And now it should be connected wirelessly. Now all you have to do is again run scrcpy and it is mirrored wirelessly. And you can now continue recording with OBS, but then without a cable. If the command prompt says that ADB is not recognized when you launch the bat file, make sure you set your environment variables right, or else you need to edit the bat file and add the path to your ADB file there manually as well, which is right here. I did sometimes find that the scrcpy mirror would turn itself off when the Oculus Quest screen goes to sleep, and yeah, well, I prevent this by putting a sticker on front of the sensor. Next, I wanted to let you know what we do for game audio and voiceovers. So for game audio, we record it by putting a 3.5mm audio cable in the Quest, and the other end goes into a USB audio adapter. We use this D-Lock one. Make sure you connect the audio cable onto the microphone input of your audio adapter or PC. Next, plug it in your PC USB slot. Once you've done that, you should be able to select the USB audio adapter in OBS and record the game sound this way. Of course, you will have a cable now while playing, so it isn't the best option, but it is great to be able to record gameplay, voiceovers and webcam with OBS at the same time, this way so you don't have to resync it later on. This is also one of the few ways right now to live stream to other platforms other than Facebook. I do wish we could do this wirelessly, since that is the power of the Quest, but I have not found a solution to this yet. I hope Oculus will add a solution for this later on. You can record the speaker sound by using a lav mic too close to the sound, for example, but I'm not sure if that's the best quality. If you know how to record audio using ADB wirelessly, please let us know below. Another tip is to get a very long 3.5mm audio cable like this one and strap it at the back of the headset with some Velcro. This way it doesn't come in front of your face and it doesn't bother much while recording. Now, to record our voices, we use the wireless mod mic. It comes with a USB that connects to the microphone wirelessly, which you can just select in OBS. The only thing you have to add is find a nice place to put this little magnet sticker on. I put it here. It might not be the best solution, but it works for us. Just be careful that you don't put it too much to the left side of the strap, because then you won't be able to extend the strap anymore. You can also use a different wireless mic like a lavalier or the Rode Wireless Go, for example. Another solution to record voice audio would be to use a audio recorder like the Zoom H1. You can put a microphone in here and then you can put the Zoom H1 in your pocket. This is kind of like a wireless solution, since you can record like this perfectly, but you won't be able to live stream this way. You can then just put headphones on the second audio input to hear sound yourself while recording. Now, as for some last tips and tricks, scrcpy also has some nice options for you to use that you can check in the GitHub link we provided below. The options we mostly use are the bitrate and the crop, for example. But you can also reduce size to increase performances. For example, I would recommend to play around with this. So what we usually do is the following. We set the bitrate higher for better quality and we crop it to only one view. Just the left eye, for example. Alright, I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, please let us know down below. And if you have any other questions, you can of course let them know down below too. And a special thanks goes to Art Armin for being our right-hand patron, and a special shout out goes to his Patreon page. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, we are on. Please let us know down below if Alright, I hope this video helped you out too, and this is the beepy.